Hi guys, Sarah here. Today we're going to be creating some pretty simple isometric glass text. So the first thing I'm going to do is go File and New to create a new document, and we're just going to make it 1920 by 1080, and that's landscape, and I think that looks good, so we're going to go Create. And then the main thing we need to do is bring up our grid so we can actually start drawing our letters. So we go to the isometric panel, go to grid settings or modify. What did that say before? It said modify grid, right? Yeah. And go grid settings and then go show grid. And we've got our fancy grid here. And then I like to adjust it pretty small, but not too crazy small. So maybe about there. It's going to be a bit different. Probably on your computer, depending on what measurements you're using. So yeah, we'll go with that. There we go. So that's, I think, a good grid size. I mean, you could do enormous glass letters too if you want. So, but for this, I'm just gonna do delicate, tiny, adorable, beautiful little glass letters. So we're going to make the word glass because, well, that makes sense. I'm going to delete that. And then I'm going to start immediately with the G. So I'm going to draw it on the front plane primarily. You'll have an idea what that means when I start. So I'm going to start drawing the G. And I'm just going to use the square tool here, or the rectangle tool, my bad, and then go edit in place, and then it will edit right in the isometric grid. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful. And then I don't want it to be an odd number. I want it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We'll go maybe 10. 10 grid squares, just because it's easier to measure out a lot of the letters if I do it that way. And then I'm going to do the same for the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't want it to be quite as long. So I think that works. So this is, what does a G look like? Okay, a G looks like a C, but with a G. Yay, G. The problem is, can you even see that? It's very gray. Let's get rid of the stroke that was randomly placed on there and make it purple. Oh, see, now you can see what's happening. That's so much better. Okay, so my G, do I even like that G? So that's a G, but I kind of want to add another little bit to make it more G-E. Okay, that's way better. That's a G. Okay, that's not just like a weird C. That's a G. Okay, so we have our G. So I'm actually just going to copy that and bring it over here so I can use that as a template for the rest of my letters, like my L, and so on and so on. And I'm trying to think of what I should do first. Maybe I'll put that. Actually, no. I'll do the L, just so we're doing all the same parts at the same time, so I don't confuse you. So the L is going. I'm going to make the L a little bit not quite as wide. Yeah, wide's the word. Or maybe I should. It looks more logical like that, but then I kind of like having all my letters the same. So. All right, we'll leave it like that, and then I might change it later. We don't know. So we'll bring the G over here for my A template. A, and bring that down. GLA. And we are going to run out of space. So let's bring this way down here. And now we got to do the S's. So I'm going to bring the A over here again, to use that as a template. Actually, I needed that middle bar. I just don't need that one. Now we have an F. That's not what I need. I need an A and an S and an S. I am putting the ass in glass. There we go. Beautiful. Glass. That looks really long. Is that too long? It looks extremely long to me, but that's okay. We're gonna see how it works, and hopefully it doesn't look terrible when this is all done. So now that the letters are done, or at least that plane, I'm just gonna go in and check and make sure I actually, align everything to the grid properly. Because sometimes I don't, and then I have to go in when it's almost done and make a lot of unnecessary fixes. So it looks pretty good. Cool. All right, so I'm just going to zoom that out, and now I'm actually going to make drop shadows. because I'm going to be making glass letters here, I'm going to want to have little drop shadows that come out behind it, this over here, where my little mouse is, over here. And I'm going to do that now because I just drew the shapes that the drop shadow will, I guess, mimic or be. So yeah, hopefully that made sense. Okay, so first I'm actually going to combine these letters. And that is not the correct word. What is it? I'm gonna add. That doesn't even sound right. Okay, I'm just gonna basically merge all the shapes within each letter. And is that A right? Yeah, okay, it is. Just doesn't always look right, but it was. So yay me. And then the A, we're gonna add. And the S, add, and the S, add. And cool. Okay. So now we're gonna make, now we will make the drop shadows. Yes. So the drop shadows will be made on the top plane because they're going to come out of each letter behind it like that, although in a better color and lighter and much better looking than what I've just done. Although I'm not sure why it's not arranging and moving to back. There we go. Okay, so it's gonna be like that, but a G and a letter. So I'm basically just gonna do what I did with the G. And what was it? It was it 10? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then I'm going to extend it out, and I will use that as my my vertical sort of starting point. But I still need to make another line here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It was 8, right? I think it was 8. Yeah. Let's move that over. Does that look right? Good question. It's wrong. It's completely wrong. What have I done? I've destroyed everything. Oh, the humanity. Oh my gosh. Look at that. Okay, I can fix this. It's okay. We can fix this. Can I fix this? What's happening? Okay, I fixed it. All good. We're all good. Whew. Okay. So that doesn't look like a G at all. What am I doing? What am I doing? Okay. There we go. G. There we go. Okay, and bring that over here. And it's not aligning. Why is it not aligning? It doesn't like me now. That's wonderful. I'm going to bring it down so I can match where this one is. And I think it's about 2 away. So is everything aligning? So it looks like everything is aligned there. So now I can call that drop shadow good and done. But see, it's not aligning there. What is happening? What is happening? Okay, no, it's fine. We're good. So I'm going to group that. Yes, no, I'm actually not going to group that. I'm just going to move it over here and bring it over here for my template for my L. But now I can actually go back and just combine all of those shapes because that one is done. And it will later, not right now, but much later, it'll go behind that lovely G like that. There you go. Lovely. So now let's do the L, which is going to be pretty simple. And we're just going to delete that and that. And okay, that was really simple. Okay, we have our L. Hooray. Okay, so let's do the A. I'm going to bring the L way back over here because it's in my way right now. And then make the A. Ta-da, and it was 2 down. Yes. And the A is done. And now the S's is... There we go. Okay, and to do the S, what did we do? We got rid of that, and we had an F. And then I brought this up and brought this all the way down and duplicating this. There, okay. And I've run out of room, and that's okay because I'm good with that. I'm just going to combine that and combine that and combine all the shapes and all of the lovely shadows and then done. Cool. Okay. And then we're going to bring all of these way far away because we're not actually going to be using them for a little while. I just wanted to make them while we're doing the sort of the 2-dimensional stuff. And now we're going to do the 3-dimensional part. Okay, 3D, let's go. That was way too enthusiastic for isometric letters. Or maybe not enthusiastic enough. Regardless, let's do some side plane. Yay, okay. For now, I'm just gonna give it a pinky color and do the top as a much better magenta. Yeah, there we go. I know this doesn't look anything like glass right now. Nothing at all. It's not glass right now, let's be honest. It's just isometric letters, and then we're gonna make them glass later. Because you do this part first, and then you apply some lovely blue colors, and then you make everything opaque. Opaque? Oh, yes. Low transparency, yes. And my key commands are not working. They do that sometimes. It's very annoying, but they're just straight up not working. So we have to go use the mouse. There we go. So when I'm doing glass letters like this, I'm not actually going to convert that to curves and then tuck that in as I usually do, because we sort of want that shape. That plane, if this were a real 3D object, that plane would exist. It wouldn't be hidden. So we are going to want it to sort of show when all of this is, glass. So before I go any further, I'm actually going to copy all my letters because I didn't do that yet. Bad me. Bad me. Okay. Always copy because you can. But also in this case, because I think we are going to use these letters to put underneath the glass letters so you can actually see the glass, which will, I promise, make sense later. But for now, we'll just make sure you copy your letters, and now we will do the actual glassiness. So since we're just doing colors, I'm going to take off my grid and figure out what colors we want for our fancy glass. So I think I'm going to go with some blue colors here, although I have a few different options. I really like these colors up here that Affinity gives you. So maybe I'll go with the this middle sort of. It's like a cyan sea blue with the smallest little bit of green in it, and I really like that one. Although I think I'm actually going to apply it to the front here. And then on this side, I will do a slightly darker color like that. And on the top, I will do a lighter color like, let's see, like that. Yes, like that. Perfect. I like using the blue tones for glass just because I think it makes it look just a little bit nicer than if you were just using grays. Because I don't want my glass to be boring. I want my glass to be beautiful and spectacular. I mean, why not? All right, so I think I've got my colors, but I did not give enough room for my other letters, so I'm gonna have to move them over. So let's just zoom out, and I'm going to move my G over here. So I've got some room for the L and the ASS. Yes. Okay, now I'm going to apply the 3D-ness to my L. Go on that side, and I'm just going to bring over the same shapes I have from my G and make sure I give the L the actual coloring that it deserves. Yes. And the last piece, just key commands still aren't working. I gotta fix this. Okay, move to back. Okay. And did that align? Yes. 'Tis beautiful. Now we have our L. For the other letters, we are going to do exactly the same thing. Bring that over, align it so it's perfect. And I need to just grab the top of the G. Yeah, we'll do the G and bring it over here. I still haven't actually, maybe I'll recolor all my letters so I don't forget to do that. Not that I'm likely to forget, but I might as well do it now. Then everything looks beautiful, right? Yeah. And I'll bring the A down, and oh yeah, key command's working again. Sweet. I had to fiddle with it a bit. And then, what do we want? We want the wrong one. We want this one. We want the side plane, and move to back, and bring it up, and move it to back. Is that aligning? Yes. Yes. Okay. Cool. And then we're going to do the S as well. And I don't even know why I have that. I'm just going to duplicate this one when I'm done. Because it's the same letter. Yeah, did you know that? It's the same letter. S and S are the same letter. Crazy, right? Whew. All right. So S over align to back. Align to back? No. Send to back. And that's already in the back. And bring this over and under. Cool. Now we got our other S, or our first S. And then I'm just going to group the A, group the S, and duplicate it over there. That's so lovely. Now we have glass. Well, we have the word glass. We don't actually have the glass that was promised. We do not have the glass that was promised quite yet, but we're working on it. So I'm going to arrange all my letters perfectly first, and then I will show you the glass that was promised. Yeah, it's gonna happen. Just gotta get there first. So before we do the glass, I'm actually going to bring in our drop shadows and just plant them directly behind each one of our letters. So let's select them all and then send to back. And then I'm going to move them in behind. Okay, this is actually hard to see. Maybe I should make my letters glass so I can see what's happening underneath them. That's a good idea. All right, let's bring the opacity of the whole thing down to 50. Oh look, they're kind of glassy now. Now we can see what's happening behind them. Fancy that. Yeah. And then we're going to do the same with the L. The A. Is that aligned? Yes. And then we'll go up here with the S's and just align them so they are shadows. See, you can definitely see that they're glassy now, but what I'm actually going to do now is actually maybe just select all of the shadows, even though they're kind of hidden underneath. Oh no, I selected the wrong thing. Okay, well, clearly I should have done that first. And okay, do I have them all selected? Yes, I do. And I'm going to bring the opacity of each of these down to, 50. 50 totally works. Cool, okay. And now I'm going to see if I can use the transparency tool, and yes, I can. Okay, but I'm doing it the wrong way. I'm going to do a transparency thingy on all the letters. So now we have our fancy drop shadows that go behind our glass, but right now our glass is a little too glassy, isn't it? Yeah, you can barely read that. Or maybe you can't read that at all. Regardless, that's what we are going to bring in this text for. So let's select all of that and bring it in. Nope, bring it in. There we go. That's much better. Cool, okay. So I think I'm actually going to have to undo what I did with the drop shadows because I want the option. Why is it not working? There, I want the option of moving my letters around. And unfortunately, oh, that looks really good there. Huh, looks really good on the gray. That's fun. I want the option of moving the letters independently, and unfortunately, the drop shadows are all stuck together. So I'm going to apply a drop shadow to each one separately, but basically doing it exactly the same way as I did it before, where it goes from one side of the letter to the other and just sort of trails off right here at the end. Because that looks really pretty, doesn't it? Yeah. There we go. And let's do the A. And the S. S. Yeah, that works. And the last S. There we go. Perfect. Now I actually need to make each letter lower in opacity. So it looks more like a shadow and less like a weird little letter part. So let's bring these back and we're making them 50 opacity. Wow, okay, I need to zoom in so I can actually select them. And 50 and 50. There we go. Cool, okay. So now they are pretty much all, well, they have drop shadows. They're good. And now I need to give them their letters. So let's bring the letters over. I'm going to zoom right out and bring the letters over. There we go. And I don't really like the purple, but I also don't want a solid color. So I think we will go with maybe a purple to orange, purple to yellowy orange. Yeah, the purple's nice, but I think maybe, to the orange instead of the whatever other color that was. Okay, so that's actually a really nice gradient. So let's do that with all of the others. Now I can't just select that. No, I can't. Of course not. That would be too easy. So I have to manually go in and do each. You know, there might be an easier way to do this. I'm sure there probably is, and I just don't know it yet. But fortunately, we're not working with like a ton of letters here. Just 5 letters, so it's not too bad. And bring it down. And fortunately, the S we can duplicate, so I'm just going to delete that again. And let's bring the gradient down. Top is a purple, bottom is an orange. And I think that's about right. Although because we are on isometric angles, I'm going to apply that accordingly. Otherwise, our little orange bit is going to drop right off. Here we go. Should probably do that with the G too. Yeah. Make it a bit more angular of a gradient. Now for the S, we will do exactly the same thing, but I will do it better. There we go. And that looks about right. Okay. So I'm just going to duplicate the S. That's all the same color, isn't it? It looks a bit different, but I think it's all pretty much the same. Same level of purpley to oranginess. Yes. Whoops. Okay. And so I'm actually going to just go and bring it behind each letter here, so it would be, sort of the base, but not in front of the drop shadow. And so that's kind of what it's going to look like. So our G is, I think, pretty much done. So we're just going to group the whole thing and move it over here. So you can see it's got the drop shadow, it's got the shape behind, as well as our glass in the front. So we'll do that with the L as well. Yes, that rhymed. I know. And bring it here. Maybe I'll put it on the front so I can get it aligned properly. And I'll send it to the back. And then I will send this to the back. And then do the same thing. Although I'll make sure that is... Oh, it's not working. Okay, it's not perfectly aligned. Okay, so I gotta fix that. So I'm gonna undo that. Undo. Okay, there we go. Until it is perfect, and then bring it to the back again, and then send the drop shadow to the back. Now our L is done. So let's grab all the L. Beautiful. And the L is done. And now on to the ASS. Let's bring in our A. Align it with the back of the shape, send to back, send the drop shadow to back, zoom out. This is just sort of a process at this point. And oh gosh, I'm getting lost in the shapes. Do you see what's happening? I am completely lost. Oh look, there's the A. Okay, we're good. I see it now. Then we'll do the S. And you know what? Just buy that one. I don't need that garbage. I don't need it. I don't even know why I did that. There we go. We only need the one S. And then we duplicate it. Like, come on, man. What am I doing here? This S is perfect, and the other one was just awful, wasn't it? Yeah, it was awful. So we just had to duplicate the perfect one. Yep. That's what's happening right now. Is that in the back? Yeah, that is the back. Okay. It's so weird when you're working with stuff that's, like transparent. Okay. So I think we pretty much have all of our letters done and grouped And lovely, and drop shadowed. So now, as they are all independent, we can move them however we like, and that's pretty fun. So let's say goodbye to the grid, and let's look at our letters. Ooh, fancy. So fancy. So at this point, you can pretty much just go in and make any adjustments you want. I think maybe the drop shadows should just be a little more shadowy and less in your face. So I'm actually going to bring the opacity of each down to 25. And let's do that with all of the letters. Even both S's independently. Okay, see that's a bit better. The drop shadows are just a little more subtle. And I think, I don't know if you noticed, but this G kind of looks like an S. Are you seeing an S in here? Yeah, I'm actually going to go in and select that. And I'm going to probably bring it up from 50 because I think 50 might just be a bit too low. Maybe 70. Yeah, we'll go with 70 instead of 50. 70? Whoa, that was 7 and a dot. Not acceptable. Okay, 70. 70. No, that's not a 7. 70. Beautiful. Okay, see that's a little more glassy, right? Where we've got the color underneath and the drop shadow, but you can tell it's glass. That's much better. Now, if you're working with different colors, maybe you're not doing like a blue glass, you could be doing like a yellow or a green, or even like a really dark kind of black glass, then maybe those would be, maybe you would want it at a lower opacity. But opacity? Is it opacity or opacity? I think it's opacity. I've been saying it wrong. Okay. And what we're doing? We're building our words here. So let's just see how we want this to align. Because the cool thing is that everything here is glass. So everything's gonna look really weird when we put it on top of each other. I'm gonna get my grid back because I am just placing letters all over the place and I need my grid, otherwise I don't know what I'm doing. So let's put the G on the grid there and the L there, and we'll move the A to the back behind the L, and yeah, we'll bring it there-ish, and where's the S? And this S to the back, Hey, no, whoa, okay. Calm down, S. Let me do my thing. Bring that down to maybe here. Yes, right there. And we'll bring that to the back. And is that aligning? Yeah, it actually is. Cool. Okay. And where do we want this? You know what? I don't know where I want this, but maybe super low, maybe super high there. Let's see what that looks like without the grid. That looks pretty good. So obviously when your letters are this close together, you're not really going for readability because you're just not going to get it. But if you move them just a little bit further away, you'll probably get that. So I am going to undo that and just take that whole thing, bring it over here, and then go in and maybe make something that's actually readable. Because, yeah, that seems to be a good way to go, just in general. Just readability. Yay. So we can make it overlap just like a titch there. A titch, that's a unit of measurement, if you didn't know. I don't know what it means though, so do not ask me. I don't think it's actually a unit of measurement at all. A titch. Just a titch. Maybe it's just something we say in Canada. I don't know. That's not aligning, is it? No, I can tell it's not aligning. I can tell these things. Not that it needs to, but it needs to. The whole thing is off alignment. The whole thing. Why? Okay. Huh. Okay, well that was not a hard fix. Cool. Okay, is that slightly better? Let's see. Yes, that is actually slightly better. Ever so slightly. Although we have lost our drop shadows. Nope, we just can't see them because there's stuff in front. Well, that makes sense, doesn't it? Yeah. So I think I like how this kind of looks. Do we like that one or that one or that one? I'm gonna go with this one because it's what I currently have on the screen, and I think you get the idea of how to make some glass isometric text. You know, just roughly. I think you get it. It's apply a pretty nice pastel-y color like a blue, or a bluey green, or a bluey purple, or really whatever color you want, and then make it low opacity. Add some drop shadow because the drop shadow makes it look really cool. And then if you want to get really creative, you can just go crazy with things and give it a background color. Yeah, that's going crazy. A background color. A background color of awesomeness. Except I totally hate that. Let's do a blue. The blue's actually quite nice. The bluey blue. I believe the bluey blue may be too much, because you can't see much of what's happening. The white was honestly better. So why don't we try, okay, black is great. That's just a little boring. We need to go with something with a little bit of color. That'll actually show the drop shadow, because black doesn't do that. But if we go to a nice, ooh, yeah, the color of my jeans. Perfect. And then we'll add a gradient. No, I'm dragging that the wrong way. That way. That way. Right? Actually, maybe this way. And then I'll make this one that, and that one that. That's how you do a tutorial. This, that. It's very descriptive. I hope you're able to follow along with my descriptions of what I'm talking about. Okay, and close. And do we like that? We kind of like that. I mean, I kind of like that. Do you like that? If you hate it, just let me know, and I'll just never do this again. Ever, 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 ever again. Or maybe I will, because it's fun. Where's my zoom? There's my zoom. So that's pretty cool, actually. Actually, the background looks really good. Looks really good. So yeah, glass. That's some glass text right there. Though I think maybe with the darker background, I should keep this the drop shadow a bit more prominent, something like that. See, that looks really cool, I think. Let's bring that back, and maybe we can have an experimental look at what other background colors we can have here that aren't that. Not that there's anything super wrong about that. It's just boring. Yes, boring is the word. So let's find a nice, pretty low, what am I saying? A high white, a low blue, a low blue, a low blue color to use. Like that. No, let's swap that around. Like that. Okay, well that's something, but honestly I think the white worked better, just because you can see the drop shadow a bit better. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. I think maybe I want to bring the letters so they're right on top of each other. No, that doesn't make a lot of sense. But you can, because they're glass. But you can do some pretty cool stuff like that. And I'll bring the S up like that, and the other S down like something like, why is it not aligning? Align, S's, align. There we go. Okay, I think that's, oh, it's so close. It's not quite there though. That's gonna drive me insane. Fun. Nope. Okay, well then fine. Yes, they're being really mean right now. Fine then, I will have to go and fix that later. So, I mean, they look perfect when I zoom in, but when I zoom out, not so much. Maybe this one's different. Yeah, that one's a bit different. All right, so I'm gonna have to go back in and fix that a bit later. And yeah, clearly I missed a step somewhere in when I was checking with my lines to make sure that everything was perfect. All right, glass text, all done. All right, I hope you guys liked this tutorial slash let's design, because it wasn't so much me saying do this, do that. It was more of, hey, let's try something and hope it looks good. But if that's cool with you guys, then that is great, because this is a fun thing for me to do when I have a chance. So yeah, I hope you liked it, and I will see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.